T-virus samples in proximity. Retrieve them for storage and analysis.
Alright guys, what's going on? This is Otis here, and today I got some nice little gameplay on Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, which is the game that just came out. And this mode is called BioHazard, which is kind of like a capture the flag type variation. But pretty much what ends up happening is in this mode is there's 5 T-virus samples, and your team has to go and pick it up. You're 4 versus 4 on squads. It's U.S. Special Forces versus the Umbrella's Special Forces type guys. And there's only one T-virus that comes out at a time. And pretty much what ends up happening is you know, you have your whole team trying to go and to grab it. And then once you grab it, you have to stand over it and hit your action button, which is X on the PlayStation, and then was it A on the Xbox. And then pretty much once you grab that, you have to run all the way back to your spawn where there's a box where you have to go and you have to put the T-virus sample back into the box to get your points. And there's pretty much 2 types of ways to end up playing this game, and that is either, you know, kind of just sitting back with your teammates. Well, at least whatever your strategy type is in this game, is you definitely wanted to team up, be on your mics, communicating the whole time, and you want your 4 guys being together, because you're just going to survive a lot longer, and it's a lot easier to pick off the other team, even if you have your whole group of like 4 people and they only have like 2 or 3 guys. It's going to be a lot easier to kill them. And pretty much what happens is it takes about 30 seconds or so, then the T-virus sample ends up popping up, and you can look anywhere and it shows up in this little purple vial, like you can see it on the screen pretty much anywhere when you turn, and so you're able to find where it is. And then once that person gets it, they flash purple, and it's their job, of course, to run it back to the spawn. It's your job to protect them as long as you can, and then first team to capture 5 samples wins. And this has been my probably my second favorite gameplay so far. And pretty much what ends up happening is you can either be that guy that rushes out and always wants to try to grab the sample and whatnot, but pretty much what I like to do is I just kind of like to hang back and just try to help protect the guys, whether they grab the samples or not. And then if they end up dying, I usually end up picking it up and being the hero and taking it in for the win, which I end up doing towards the I think it's like the 3rd or 4th sample that we capture. I end up doing that. And so the one thing you always have to watch out for in all these modes too is there's depending on what map you're on, you're gonna have always zombies, and you're gonna have lickers, and then hunters, and then on some maps you're gonna have tyrants. So you have everyone just trying to kill you basically, which is pretty difficult. And I was playing the medic guy here on the U.S. Special Forces side, and I didn't have anything unlocked yet on this guy. I have most of the first beginning things unlocked for almost all the characters now, playing for the first few hours so far. I only have maybe like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay, but so far this and then the survivor mode has been my favorite 2 modes so far. But pretty much you always want to try to keep the zombies down to like a minimum, but wherever that sample is, once you pick that sample up and once it gets put down, there's going to be extra zombies that are around that area, so you definitely want to watch out. And maybe even before if you get near the sample, you might want to throw a grenade or 2 just so you can run in there, and they'll either be eliminated or close to getting less health. And so it'll overall be a lot easier for you compared to running in, grabbing this sample. And one of the samples that I get actually later, I end up it's the only one that I actually end up turning in, where I killed the guy who's carrying the sample, and there was like 3 or 4 zombies around him too. And so I had the choice of either trying to shoot him or just trying to grab it and then running. And so I do the choice of end up grabbing it, and the zombie does grab me. I do get it out of his little grapple hold, and I do run it in after I do like some evasive maneuvers for the away from the zombies and stuff. And so that's pretty much when you do capture it. There's 2 things you have to watch out for. There's the other teammate shooting you, because you only do have limited sprint. So pretty much what I like to do and I would suggest is, well, if you're near those corners, I would definitely sprint towards them as fast as you can. And then pretty much once you run out of sprint, you'll be around the corner, and so you'll be able to regenerate your stamina before you're able to run again, which helps out tremendously. And pretty much, communication is definitely the key in this mode. Communication. And pretty much, you know, it's going to be a lot harder now too, especially once people learn where the maps are, where the ammo things are, and so it's going to definitely be key of sticking around near everyone. And so the U.S. side right here is to the building that they spawn on is where you have to drop the capsules off, which is you know, pretty good and stuff too. What you can end up doing, which I don't know if we did on this map, I know I have done it a few times, where if you got a guy return with the sample, you pretty much just camp out on top of the building as much as you can. But I would definitely recommend, before you pick up the vial, to get a first aid spray if you don't already have one. Because I don't know how many times in games where I've had the vial and I'm running around trying to evade people's bullets. Because typically, if someone's shooting at me, I would just recommend just keep running as fast as you can, and try not to get shot. And a lot of times it'll probably work. Probably about 7 out of 10 times you'll actually get away if you're just trying to run away instead of trying to stop, turn around, and engage the person that's shooting you from behind. And if you have that first aid spray, once you turn a corner, you're able to spray it on you, and you have full health again. And maybe they don't have full health. And also another thing too, if you just keep running, if you have some grenades still, you know, you could drop a grenade or two on the ground, or try to bounce it off a wall or a car to try to you know, to kill the guy. And I've had a few kills like that too, where I've been carrying the thing and I just drop like a random grenade or two, and I end up you know, getting a kill that way, which is always pretty nice and pretty helpful. But you know, it depends on the smaller maps too. On these bigger open maps, I would definitely use an assault rifle, just because everything is just so far just spread out and spaced out. You definitely need that range to kill people with, if you can aim pretty well. And then of course, you know, on the smaller maps, you're going to want to use shotguns and submachine guns. You know, pick the right weapon for the right map, of course. You know, don't, you know, I mean, you could, you know, pick like an assault rifle for like the small maps, or even like a submachine gun. I mean, you know, it's not going to help you much. Yeah, you can still get kills and stuff, but you know, I would always definitely recommend getting an antivirus viral too, because I died a little bit earlier because I got infected and I didn't know where one was. And you know, I picked it up right when pretty much right when I picked it up, I ended up dying, so that didn't help me at all. And so I would always recommend running around, getting a first aid spray, getting a antivirus thing, so you're all good and set to go, instead of, you know, getting infected or getting hurt and then going, oh crap, where's the stuff at, you know. But I mean, once, you know, we're able to learn the maps and stuff, we're gonna know where everything is. We're gonna know where all the first aid sprays are. We're gonna know where all the antivirus stuff is. And even on a few classes too, there's a certain perk or whatever, I don't know if you want to call them perks, but passive abilities, where it'll show on your mini-map where everything fully is. And so it'll be a lot easier soon to, you know, to find that stuff and to stock up. And once everyone gets these more powerful weapons unlocked, it's going to be a pretty fun, pretty challenging game. That's for sure.
We've got a virus sample. Do not let it fall into enemy hands.
And some of the last final tips that I would definitely recommend is pretty much always use your grenades at people. And if someone's close to getting their T-virus back into their spawn, whether it be on your side or that side, you know, go out towards the middle of the map, maybe spread out a tiny bit, because right when they put that T-virus sample into the machine, basically what's going to end up happening is it's going to respawn somewhere else. And I've lost a few games already too, me and my buddies, because we're escorting everyone too much into the spawn room where they're putting the T-virus sample back. And what ends up happening is that other team's already out in the middle of the map ready to grab it, and they grab it and they go return it right away. And we've lost a few games because of that. And so that's definitely, you know, something to keep your eye on. Using your grenades, staying, you know, together with your team, you know, as much as you can, communicating, and, you know, throwing grenades. Everyone forgets about their grenades. Probably about like 8 out of 10 people don't throw their grenades in this game. So just remember to throw your grenades, play smart, play as a team, you know. Hopefully you guys like this video. I'm definitely going to be doing some more Resident Evil videos soon and coming up. And thanks for watching, guys.